Foxborough woke up to the kind of noise that usually means tough choices are coming, and I can feel it. This offseason is about to test everybody's nerve. Some moves look small on paper, but swing games in December. And some quotes from the building, they can change the direction of an entire roster. Here's the thing. Patriots Nation is about to pick between building a rock-solid floor or chasing a higher ceiling. And by the end of this video, I'm going to tie all of it into one clean idea that not enough people are talking about. Would you rather see us go aggressive right now or stay patient and strategic? Drop your take in the comments, and if you're riding with this team, hit like and subscribe. This might sting because it feels like a minor detail. Kiyla Tonga wasn't expensive. He came in to do the dirty work, and he ended up becoming a trusted piece of the interior. And now there's a very real chance he's gone. Karen Garigian and Mark Daniels at Mass Live said the Patriots and Tonga were close on an extension during the season. Close enough that it looked like it could get done before the playoffs. And then it fell apart at the last second. They talked again in Indianapolis, but his price went up after the playoff run, and what used to be almost done isn't even in the same range anymore. The impact is direct, and it's not flashy. If you don't have bodies who can hold the point, you expose everybody behind them. Tonga played 17 games, started 8, and logged 32.3% of the defensive snaps in 2025. He wasn't the headline name next to Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, but he gave New England quality early down run defense and kept the front from getting pushed around. And yeah, he even had value in specific packages, including some part-time fullback looks, the kind of versatility coaches actually love, even if it doesn't trend on social media. So here's the real dilemma that splits a fan base. Do you pay more than you plan to keep the machine running smoothly? Or do you let him test the market and try to replace that role cheaper, knowing the risk is your run defense gets lighter? Quick vote in the comments. Do you pay to keep Tonga, or do you move on and trust the plan? Path 1 is the continuity path. New England bumps the offer, finds a middle ground, and you keep that physical identity intact. It protects Barmore and Williams. It keeps the rotation balanced, and it prevents you from entering March desperate for a big body who can survive 2 downs. Path 2 is the let it ride path. Tonga finds a better offer elsewhere, and now the front office has to nail the plan B. Either a veteran value signing or a draft pick that's ready to handle real NFL run fits immediately. And when you're forced into plan B at a position built on contact, one wrong bet gets expensive. Vrabel even said at the Combine he's thankful for Tonga's contributions and would love to have guys like that back, but also admitted the league doesn't always allow it. And that's where this gets dangerous. When the price rises, the emotions kick in, and you find out who's actually a priority. Because if a piece like this slips away, the next question isn't who left, it's who's coming in to hunt the quarterback right now. Sometimes the NFL hands you a gift wrapped up like a cap dump, but you only notice if you're paying attention to fit, not hype. Because while everybody chases the star, the smartest teams chase the guy who does his job on 3rd and long, in the exact moment you need it, without the whole system collapsing around him. And in Foxborough, that matters even more. You can't build a defense that depends on one name, especially when big contract decisions are coming later with core players, and Drake May is still developing. The fact is, the Kansas City Chiefs released edge defender Mike Dana ahead of the 2026 league year as they work to get under the salary cap. He was a 5th-round pick back in 2020, and nobody's confusing him with prime J.J. Watt, but he's been steady. He's got 21.5 sacks since entering the league, and the resume says 2-time Super Bowl champ. And the second that release happens, he's free to sign anywhere. The impact for the Patriots is pretty simple. The pass rush can't get thin. K'Lavon Chaisson is a free agent, and Harold Landry has been mentioned as a potential cut candidate. If you leave those doors open and don't add another legitimate edge piece, you're asking your scheme to do too much heavy lifting. Pressure without selling out with blitzes is gold. And you can feel the way this team wants to play. Rush as a unit, keep coverage sound, and squeeze quarterbacks into mistakes. So the choice is classic Patriots Nation. Do you take a solid, not splashy option like Dana, probably on a more controlled contract? Or do you save your money and swing for something bigger, knowing you might miss and end up paying the panic tax later? If you were the GM right now, are you making Dana a priority early? Or are you waiting for the market to cool and trying to steal value? One path is the stability play. You bring Dana in, you don't ask him to be a savior, and you build a deeper rotation that can keep legs fresh and keep the pass rush coming in waves. The other path is the home run hunt. You pass on the middle tier, try to land a bigger name, and if it doesn't happen, you're stuck late in the process choosing between overpaying or being thin on the edge. And when the market forces you to pick between paying too much or being light where it matters most, that's when the wide receiver conversation gets loud again. Everybody thinks the fix on offense is simple. Go get a true WR1, pay the big number, and call it solved. Sounds logical, sounds clean. But the more you look at how this roster is being built and how the cap timeline is lining up, the more you realize the plan might be the opposite. Be honest, a lot of these dream names are fun to talk about, but they come with heavy baggage. The fact is, we're fully in off-season mode, which means media outlets are going to throw every big wide receiver name at New England like it's a yearly tradition. This year, the top candidates have been obvious. A.J. Brown gets connected because of his history with Vrabel, but the contract and the dead cap math make it feel unlikely. Same vibe with other big names like Jordan Addison and George Pickens. And beyond the player cost, there's the roster cost. Looming mega extensions for Christian Gonzalez and eventually Drake May. And suddenly, a massive financial commitment to an alpha WR1 doesn't feel like the most realistic path. And here's the thing. Josh McDaniels' offense doesn't exactly need to function like that. It's not always about one guy dominating targets. It's about spacing, timing, chunk plays when the defense overcommits, and building chemistry that shows up in the red zone and on third down. That's why a name like Jalen Nailor makes sense as the type of move New England would actually make. Daniel Fisher at Nesson pitched Nailor as a fit this week, and there's a logic to it. He's been Minnesota's WR3 behind Justin Jefferson and Addison. He's 26, he can get open, he can catch, and he brings a downfield element. His 2025 numbers weren't huge. 29 catches, 444 yards, 4 touchdowns. But the efficiency and big play profile are real, including just 1 drop on 49 targets and an aggressive average depth of target. SpotRack's market estimate for him is around $4.7 million per year, which keeps him in the affordable upside lane. So the conflict is the one that always starts fights. Do you chase the expensive dream name for instant star power? Or do you take the quieter value swing that fits the system and the cap? Does that approach excite you, or does it worry you? One path is the balanced build. You add a Nailor type. You keep the room functional with Kayshon Boutte and Mac Hollins. You let Kyle Williams' role grow in year 2. And you give May multiple answers instead of one giant dependency. The other path is the big swing trade. You pay in picks and money, and now everything has to hit immediately. Chemistry, health, production. Or you've created a long-term cap headache just as the homegrown stars get expensive. It's fun to dream. But if New England is focused on sharpening the edges of the roster and adding depth, this profile is exactly the kind of receiver they'll keep circling. And once you see that, you realize this isn't only a receiver debate, it's a philosophy debate. Because the same choice, instant splash versus controlled building, is exactly what's sitting under the surface between Vrabel and Elliott Wolf right now. If this plays out the way it's starting to look, the biggest battle for the Patriots over the next few weeks won't be against the Bills or the Chiefs. It'll be in the building. And depending on how it gets resolved, it can decide whether this team takes the next step back to the Super Bowl or takes a step sideways. The fact is, Vrabel and Wolf gave comments that, at minimum, sounded like different emphases on how to attack free agency. Wolf was cautious. He said Drake May being on a rookie contract doesn't automatically mean you have to spend just because you can. He talked about making decisions for the short and long term. Vrabel, later in the week, answered a question about draft picks versus cap space with a metaphor that basically screamed mindset. He said he doesn't really focus on it like that, and compared it to shopping at a high-end store. If you like something and you can buy it, you usually try to buy it. The impact here is massive, because that's roster identity in one sentence. You've got cap space. You just represented the AFC in the Super Bowl in year 1 of Vrabel, and you've got a franchise quarterback on a rookie deal. That's usually the moment teams push chips in, but it's also the moment where one bad contract can lock you into years of cleanup. So the conflict is unavoidable. Do you operate like a team that arrived early and accelerates everything? Or do you operate like a team that's still building and protects the future? What's the biggest urgency to you right now? Maximize the window and spend with purpose, or stay disciplined and trust internal growth? Path 1 is the step on the gas plan. Vrabel gets his aggressive approach. The Patriots attack opportunities, add real impact, and send a message to the locker room that the standard is championship, not nice season. That raises expectations and pressure, but it also raises the ceiling. Path 2 is the controlled build plan. Wolf's approach keeps the books cleaner, adds targeted pieces without blowing up the cap, and bets on May, Gonzalez, and the young core taking another leap. Neither path is automatically wrong. Neither path guarantees anything. But when two visions exist under the same roof, what decides it isn't just money. It's the courage to choose an identity. So put it all together. Keeping Tonga is protecting the foundation. Adding an edge like Dana is keeping the pass rush honest. Targeting a receiver like Naylor is building offense without detonating the cap. And the Vrabel versus Wolf tone is the metronome that sets the pace for everything else. That's the thread. This offseason isn't random. It's one big choice about who the Patriots want to be right now. Are you going all in, or are you staying patient and trusting the plan? Tell me where you stand. Hit like, subscribe, and get loud in the comments. Because every decision from here can shape the next Lombardi run in Foxborough.